For young athletes, out of college, you have to have film. You have to have something that is going to spark the interest of agents. Once you land that contract, you have to do what they need you to do. So most of the time, as Americans, they want you to come over there to put that ball in the basket. Period. Obviously, as you get further in your career like I am now, like you can play more of a role. You can, integrate yourself within the team. But most of the time, like my rookie season, I had to go in and score the ball. Okay. Nothing more, nothing. And you have to score. You have to score.
Which country challenged you the most on and off the court?
I would have to say Iceland. Iceland challenged me the most. I was actually coaching and playing in Iceland, and it was an amazing opportunity for me, but also challenging. They spoke English, so they were able to understand because that language is really hard. But also, a lot of my career so far has been in Iceland. I played there for 4 years. I battled some serious injuries there, and having to overcome them, it was hard.
When you're injured overseas, I mean, do you get the physician's care, the team doctor caring for you, or how does that work?
Yeah, you do. You do. Some places don't have good team doctors or team trainers. Some places don't have that. Sometimes I'm in countries and I'm having to take myself. But obviously it depends on where you go, the level you're at. So you have to learn literally to take care of yourself in and out. But sometimes it's different. I have been on teams where, they have a masseuse on staff.
Since you're playing overseas, how is the language barrier? Did you have any challenges? You mentioned Iceland spoke English, but what country was the most challenging for you to communicate with your teammates?
So my first season was in Spain, my rookie season, and I had to have a translator with me. He was like with me. He was also on the staff, but he knew English, and none of my teammates really spoke English. So he was like my translator. But I think the hardest, because I kind of knew Spanish a little bit, and that helped me learn Spanish, being around people that don't speak English.
Spanish in high school?
Spanish in high school. But it's different. It's different. It's different, though. It's different. It's different. I'm like, I ain't learned this. But yeah, I think Belarus was probably the hardest because that Russian language is really hard and none of my teammates spoke English. Except one of my Russian teammates spoke English, but it was like not the best English. So it was really hard. It was really hard.
So did that communication barrier affect your team's play overall?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, because I think basketball is a universal language in itself. So you just kind of know when sometimes if you got a point, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. What's been your most memorable game overseas, and why does it stand out to you?
People ask me this a lot, but I don't think I have a memorable game. I think I have a memorable impact moment. I think when I was in Iceland, my first year, we won the cup championship, like you mentioned. It was the first time in club history that the club won it. I played in a small town, and to just see how the community just came together, how these people just cherished this moment. I mean, the gym was packed out with these people. I mean, that whole town probably was there, And to me, that's what it's about, that feeling of just doing something for other people and just to see it and like be a part of something bigger than just yourself individually. Like it's really dope, and it's a fulfilling experience in that way. So I don't really have a memorable game. Yeah, I have games where I, scored my career highs and stuff like that. But for me, it's more about a memorable impact.
How has being a woman of color, how has that been in the different countries that you've been in? Have you face any really real challenges or issues concerning that?
I feel like it's like America, maybe a little bit different, because in these countries, being a woman of color in a places that are like predominantly white, it can be challenging. You get the stares, you get the looks, but for me, I don't care about stuff like that. I haven't had any experience where somebody has, you know, degraded me or, in the stands talking bad about me. If they did, it wasn't in my language, so I ain't know anyway. But for me, I didn't care about the stares and stuff. I look at it as getting to be a positive role model, for the people ones that look like me. I'm also able to meet people from different walks of life. So for me, I have a deep appreciation for the different cultures, as they do mine, for sure.
How did you stay mentally and spiritually grounded while living in different countries?
So I talk to God. I'm a believer, so I talk to God. Every Sunday I'm tuned into Forest City.
Okay.
And I just
Travis
take time
Green?
to my yeah, for sure.
Travis
That's my
Green.
guy. And I try to do something completely outside of basketball, at least once a week. Because I feel like you don't have to saturate yourself with basketball, like doing something different, like just getting away from it. I feel like for me, it helps me better on the court,
Good.
mentally and physically.
What advice, Kira, would you give young athletes who dream of playing basketball? And I'll even say internationally because
Hmm.
the NBA has what, 12 teams, maybe
Hmm.
14 right now. How many
Hmm.
teams are involved on the international platform?
Hundreds, like
Really?
thousands, yeah. Because you have to think it's different countries, and each country has multiple leagues.
Okay.
So you can play anywhere around the world, but it's very selective because each team maybe only have one or two Americans, at most three. You know what I mean? So they have all these teams, but it's limited spots for American players.
That you think that's by design?
I think it's because they don't want Americans to just take over their league. So they have to build up their players as well, So if you bring in 10 Americans, then once the 10 Americans leave, who you got to build up, So I believe it's smart, because you have to work to be able to play over here.
If young athletes are interested in going when they finish their collegiate career to play internationally, what advice would you give them? How would they even get started to take that journey?
For young athletes,
Someone coming right out of college.
out of college, so you have to have film. You have to have film. You have to have something that is gonna spark the interest of agents. Yeah, it's just about having that film, and once you get land that contract, you have to do what they need you to do. So most of the time, as Americans, they want you to come over there to put that ball in the basket. Period. That's it, and obviously, as you get further in your career, like I am now, like you can play more of a role. You can, integrate yourself within the team. But most of the time, like my rookie season, I had to go in and score the ball.
Right.
Nothing more, nothing. And you have to score. You have to score. Leaning on your coaches, leaning on the connects they have, the ones that have these good seasons, agents will reach out to them. But if you need to look for agents, there are many, many resources, especially, but I recommend if you want to play overseas, because a lot of people come to me and like, I want to play overseas, but they've been out of school for 2, 3 years and people, they not really gonna bite off that. I'm not saying it's not doable, but it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder
Really?
to land contracts like that. So I recommend if you want to play and you want to play, you're a little skeptical about it, do it because opportunity is an opportunity because it ain't gonna be there 2, 3 years down the line when you like, I still want to play. It may be, but it's a lot harder and the chances get slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. So doing it right out of college when you're fresh, even if it's for a couple months and you come home, at least you experienced it, I recommend everybody just experience it, if you have the opportunity to.
So let's just real quickly, was the compensation to playing overseas versus playing in the US salary wise? You and of course you don't have to disclose your salary, but is it financially worthwhile to do it?
I think it depends. I think it depends. Obviously, in the WNBA, they're paying them a lot more now. So it's really good opportunities. But I think if you're open to experiences, if you're open to traveling, that itself is a compensation.
That's true.
That itself is something you live to tell stories about you. And I think with this overseas style of play, you at some point you realize, okay, do I want to level up or do I want to make money? Because it's two different avenues you can go. But once you realize I want to make money, then you move a little bit different. You talk a little bit different. But when you want more experiences, you want more, personality, it's a different avenue. So it just depends. It depends on what you consider as compensation, what you consider as, I would just say separate yourself. I think today it's so easy to blend in and just be like everybody else on and off the court. It's those that's willing to separate themselves from the way they put in the work, from the little things they do off the court, like recovery or eating right, and just doing the things that nobody's doing on the court, like playing defense. That's a big one. Playing defense, getting rebounds, taking charges. Everybody can score, but it's the ones that do the not so fun things that separate themselves.
Kira, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. Please understand that Kira is in a different time zone in a different part of the world in
Yeah,
Switzerland. And we thank her for her time. And it's not easy as an athlete to travel and be without your family. And I just want to tell Kira, thank you so much for spending time. And I think this will be extremely beneficial to parents. So
yeah.
thank you,
Thank you
Kira.
for having me. I appreciate you.
So let's listen, parents. Kira's journey reminds us that playing the game doesn't end at graduation. It evolves, it expands, and sometimes takes you places you never imagined, like traveling to different countries. So from Colombia to the courts across Europe, she's shown what it means to bet on herself, embrace change, and lead with heart. So whether you're a young athlete, a parent in the stands, or someone chasing a dream across borders, Kira's journey, her story is proof. The bleachers are just the beginning. And we want to say thanks for listening to Recruiting from the Bleachers. And let me say this, as I always say, remember, from the bleachers to the big leagues to the boardroom, let's keep cheering and steering our student athletes on to success. We'll see you next time. That wraps up another episode of Recruiting from the Bleachers. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and I appreciate you tuning in. Be sure to join us next week for another insightful conversation. Stay connected with us on Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube at Recruiting from the Bleachers. Like, share, and follow to keep up with the latest updates. And don't hesitate to leave your comments and questions. We'd love to hear from you. For a deeper dive into the basketball recruiting process, check out our book, Basketball Recruiting, A Parent's Perspective, available now on Amazon.com. Parents, remember, from the bleachers to the big leagues, the boardroom, let's keep cheering and steering our student athletes towards success. We'll see you next time.